So I was listening to this most recent JID project, and I'm not gonna lie, even though I believe Malice had the best feature on the album, my favorite feature is Vince Staples with VCR.
We turn the VCR to dinosaurs. The money we spend just leave us wanting more.
Now the whole concept of that track is really dope. JID presented it to Vince Staples as if Vince Staples was going to be his therapist, and I think Vince Staples knocked it out the park.
Cause they say a word ain't got shot, grabbing his heart. Now we just a scattering thought.
Listening to this had made me think about the last few years Vince Staples been having, and it made me question, is Vince Staples top 3 in the West? Of course, we got to put Kendrick Lamar in there, right? We don't have to because it's Kendrick. Like, he's a legend. He doesn't have to be in the top conversations anymore. I think his spot in history is solidified, but if we just want to put him in there, it would be Kendrick, Tyler, the Creator, Vince Staples. And I think I could stand on that because since Ramona Park broke my heart,
Feeling like I'm floating to the ceiling, isn't magic.
Vince Staples has been winning me over release after release, feature after feature. Dark Times last year was one of my favorite projects, and the 2 songs of Etouffee and the Little Homies was probably my 2 favorite songs throughout the entire year. Now, that's not included in the diss songs with Kendrick and all of that good stuff or GNX. That's just like overall. Like, I love a lot of the GNX projects, but I go back to the Little Homies all the time.
Life hard, but I go harder. Life hard, but I go harder.
Etouffee, amazing. And the concept of that song, Vince Staples been on a run. He released his show last year on Netflix, The Vince Staples Show, and it was fire. A lot of people thought it was a ripoff of Atlanta, but I really watched Atlanta a lot, like rewatched it. It's one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite shows all time. And it was really good. Now, I get what people would say, oh, it was a little bit of a copy, but I still loved it. I love that Afro surrealism. I love that weird, dry humor. It was so super dope.
Shit, no, baby, no. We ain't gonna do nothing to the baby. You know what I mean? We want you to be, how many months are you gonna do a gender reveal? You know, hey, no, it's good. Go over there. Elevate the feet.
Love that episode with the mom, the girlfriend, and the uncle that was like OJ. It was really good, man. I liked how he did that. He had the big fish theory, and then it kind of fell off for a little minute, and then he picked back up with me with the Vince Staples title EP, Ramona Park broke my heart, and then Dark Times. Your man's on a run right now. He's been killing features. He was on Soul Burger. If you ask me, man, this feature on JID's album can compete with Malice. It just depends on what you're looking for on that day. Man, I really like Vince Staples, and is it crazy to say that he's top 3 in the West? Is that crazy? I mean, he goes on interviews. He's super hilarious. He's always having a dope conversation.
You like Kanye West music, don't you?
Of course I do.
You like Moesha, don't you?
Of course.
You like VH1, don't you?
VH1 is a great channel.
Ray J has had a hand in everything that's current black culture.
And he's always talking about, you know, how black people and black music is being treated. All of that good stuff. He really needs his own podcast, because if he gets his own podcast, a lot of these dudes is going to be out of the game. Vince Staples is a good time. His creativity is dope. His overall just vibe is really dope, man. He's not really banging or doing anything like that. He's not trying to present himself. He don't present himself like anybody else out there. He's very unique within himself, to where I could see him and Tyler, the Creator, really doing like a real dope TV show or like a real dope album together. Put that in the works, y'all. Y'all two should work well together. I think they will. But listening to this VCR song, it sounds like it was very much a Vince Staples kind of song, right? This sounds like it could fit within Dark Times very, very easily, which, you know, Dark Times is a really good album. In the city, I'm a Martian, crash landed in a dirty ass apartment, stay shining, like, bruh, right? Like them is in New Orleans. Like, the flip that he did on that, on Etouffee, is crazy. And en français, comment allez-vous? Je m'appelle Benjamin, les effets. I love Etouffee, right? I don't know, man. I just really thinking about, like, you know, this whole hip hop is doing bad, or hip hop ain't it without. I'm just like, bro, I'm falling in love with so many artists now that I've gotten over the whole numbers thing. As I'm starting to get off of that, and I'm just listening to the music, and I'm listening to the vibes, and I'm listening to the different energy, and I'm actually picking up and retaining what people are saying a lot more. Because as I'm getting older, I gotta watch what people are saying, because I gotta watch what I'm putting around my kid, because everything is hitting his subconscious. Things that I don't even remember saying, he remembers. So a guy like Vince Staples, man, always has a good positive message. He's always giving you some type of, like, when he rapping, he just be looking at the camera like this. I forget what video that is. When he just rap,
I just wanna dance with you, baby.
he's always doing something different. He's very artsy, but he's not Tyler, the Creator. He's his own thing. And like Nipsey, he's carved out a West Coast sound like Tyler that is different than the traditional West Coast sound. Special kind of character, man. I want to see more from Vince. I think we got to start talking about him, man. Ramona Park broke my heart. Dark Times. I don't know, man. He dropped another one. Yo, someone would say that Vince Staples is on a run. So where do y'all place Vince Staples? Do y'all see him top 3 in the West? Now, before anybody from the West Coast be like, the West, they all from Cali. That's the top 3 from the Cali, right? Because I know everybody be mad. That's Cali, dog. That's not the West. We Washington, Phoenix, we the West. No, that's just Cali. Well, listen, the people that's in the conversation for the top spots are usually from California. I don't know what y'all got in y'all drinking water, but y'all need to go to Cali and figure out what they got in their drinking water, because they got some killers over there. They got some spitters over there. But I just wanted to give Vince Staples his flowers, man, because, you know, everybody gonna talk about this Malice feature, and as they should. Malice went crazy, but that Vince Staples feature is dope, and I feel like JID went into Vince Staples' world. If you just listen to the tone and the way that came off, very laid back like this, and you know, just straight to you. So, man, I really, really like what Vince Staples is doing. Big Fish Theory. Let me know your favorite Vince Staples songs in the comment section, man. I gotta show Vince Staples some love. You should definitely go watch the Vince Staples show. They're supposed to be bringing out a season 2. Every time he was on Abbott Elementary, I don't feel as though he did the greatest on Abbott Elementary, just because like his character was weird, but his acting chops, I think if he keeps acting, they're gonna get better. I think that was the worst part of the Vince Staples show, was his acting. I felt as though he needs a little bit more. He got to act himself a little bit more, right? Which is kind of crazy, because the whole show I could tell he was just being Vince Staples, but he need to up it just a little bit. Dope show though, dope concept. I love the bank stuff. I loved a lot of the episodes. Y'all should definitely go watch the Vince Staples show. What's y'all favorite Vince Staples project? Ramona Park broke my heart. Dark Times. What do you like? Big Fish. How long have you been rocking with Vince Staples? I am now going back and I'm listening to all Vince Staples music, because, you know, I didn't really get it at first, and it takes some time, and I want to tell people that, like, you can change your mind. You don't always have to like everything right away. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it's not the right mood, it's not the right vibe, or you don't get that person yet. That's why I say rollouts and interviews and activations and content is so important, because you get to know who the artist is and you get to know what you're supporting. And where I'm at in my life, where I got kids looking at me, listening to things, like, I know for a fact my daughter loves all girl stuff, right? Like, even though she's special needs and she can't really talk, anytime I like the way your body is, then that come on, she love it. 75 degrees, I ain't got no, she love when all the girls come on. Moana's her favorite, Frozen's her favorite. She like when there's girls on the screen. She likes when she's listening to the ladies. So she keeps her hand like this too. She, you know, my daughter keep her hand like this. Such a pretty little thing. But I have to really watch what I'm putting into my kids' ears. And Vince Staples, I feel good about it most of the time. Of course, there's some stuff. It's hip hop, it's rap. It ain't gonna always be peaches and creamy, but life hard, but I go harder. I can give my song, I can give that message to my son, and he could really understand it. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Vince. Is Vince Staples top 3 in the West right now? You leave your thoughts in the comment section. What say you? The conversation continues with you in the comments. Be nice, be respectful. Comment, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release videos like this, because sometimes I feel as though the algorithms only push certain things, but I love hip-hop conversations. Donate to this Cash App link if you want to help this channel here. Anything is appreciated. The biggest way to help the channel is to become a member. I have a 99-cent tier, so you can just support. It's called the Library Card, which is like public access to where it's very cheap, it's very affordable. Yo, I'm just trying to get people to support your boy and be a part of this team, man. Join the Good Readers Club, all of that good stuff. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm out of here. Peace.